Hi, Rachel. How are you?
I'm well. How are you today?
I'm doing well, thank you. My name's Daniel.
And I'm Shabazz.
It's wonderful to talk to you. Thank you so much for sharing your time with us today. You are so wonderful in this film, and we're such huge fans of you already, so this is very exciting.
Thank you so much.
No, I got to ask, first question. As a daughter of Atlas, you get to share a lot of your scenes with the legendary Helen Mirren, Lucy Liu. What was your experience like with them, and did they impart any wisdom on you while shooting?
Oh my gosh, the most wisdom. It was my second movie I had ever done, and it was for a lot of us our first film back during the pandemic, and we were working through COVID testing and surges and all of these things. And so we spent a lot of time kind of in our own bubble because a majority of the work that I did was either with them or with Jack Dylan Grazer. So we spent a lot of time together. And as a newcomer in this industry, as a young woman in particular, it's a very singular experience. And a lot of people don't really understand the amount of pressure and the hardships that you kind of face. And so it was pretty amazing to get to work with two women who have been trailblazers in their craft. Helen burst onto the scene as a young woman, and Lucy Liu for the Asian American community was, such a staple and an icon and a trailblazer. So they gave me a lot of advice, and I truly wrote it all down and made like a sponge and soaked it all in.
Yeah, and it's incredible because you're also like in a world where you are, your last film was a massive film, and there was so much success that came with that, and also now you're diving into the world of Shazam and what you have coming next as well too is Snow White. Like, you are just everywhere, and it's amazing to see that. So I'm glad that you have some great, mentors that you've made along the way too.
Thank you. So am I. I'm incredibly grateful for those women in my life, and to a lot of the women that I've worked with, that I've been lucky to work with since working on Shazam. And ever since I worked on Shazam, I really learned about women who champion other women, and that's always been very important to me.
That's excellent. It's going to be great seeing you also kind of imparting that wisdom onto other people that you're going to be acting with as well. So I have to ask, to so many kids, the Shazamily are looked up to as heroes. Who would you say is your own personal hero?
Oh gosh, my personal hero is, my parents are my heroes, of course. It's such a given, I feel. I've just been really blessed to be surrounded by such strong individuals my whole life, and they encouraged me to have my own opinion and stand up for what I believe in. And so Craig and Gina Zegler are truly my hometown heroes.
I love that. I probably would say the same answer, and I think Shay would say the same thing as well too, that, our parents do everything for us. So it's the most we could do is call them our heroes, right?
Exactly.
You mentioned that you got to shoot a lot of your scenes with Jack Dylan Grazer. I'm just wondering, how were you able to keep a straight face on set while shooting all your scenes with him? Because this movie is hilarious, by the way. And I think anytime you two were on screen,
thank you.
you two were on screen, you killed it.
Oh, thank you. And it's so natural with him because he truly embodies his character in real life, and he really is such a firecracker and a little ball of energy that I just immediately fell in love with. I remember on my first day, we did that scene in the high school in the cafeteria where I sit next to Freddie, and he talks to me about the time that Superman came for lunch. And I could not keep a straight face to some of the things he was saying. And it was really my first day on this set and this new group of people and this new set. I had never, worked with David Sandberg before, and I kept laughing, and I kept turning to David and saying, David, I swear I know how to do my job. I've just never done a comedy before.
That's so funny. No, you're a natural. You're an absolute natural. So I hopefully we'll get to see you do more down the road for sure.
Yeah, we got some stuff coming. It'll be exciting.
So we're looking forward to it. Now, your character, Anthea, there's so much complexity to her, and she's such a wonderful character to take from. Is there something that you took from her that you've now kind of applied to your own life?
You know what? I think there's so many real world applications to Anthea's character. Something that I really love about our script is that Henry didn't make one-dimensional villains, and he really created protagonists in their own right. And so I think Anthea is kind of that quintessential young kid who grew up believing one thing because all of her elders told her to. And once she's exposed to the real world and what, she's been told to hate all her life, and she gets to know it and she understands it, she has different feelings and she acts upon them. her superpower is empathy, really, at the end of the day, and she empathizes with the humans that she meets and realizes their follies as characters. What is their downfall? And empathizes with their hearts. And you know, I thought I knew about empathy before, but she taught me brand new lessons in that, and so I've really appreciated that aspect of her character.
Thank you so much for that.
Rachel, we just want to say thank you once again for sharing your time with us on the movie podcast today. Like we said, we're such huge fans of yours, and we love this film. We loved you in it, and we're so excited for everyone to check it out later this month.
Oh, thank you so much. This was so awesome and great questions. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Hopefully we get to talk to you again down the road, and all the best with what you have coming next.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
You too.
Take care.
Thank you so much for sharing your time with us on the movie podcast. We are such huge fans of yours, and we've absolutely loved what you've done with Shazam. So this is a huge honor for us. Thank you.
Well, thank you.
First and foremost, just how's your day going? How's this press going for you?
Going good. I mean, we're just getting started. It's like
Yeah.
the first day, so still have some energy. I'm like, oh yeah, let's do this.
Definitely.
Not too tired yet.
We were just watching your YouTube videos about your press junkets and everything, so it's really fun to see the other side of it now.
Yeah. No, and this one is going to be pretty intense because
Yeah.
that video was just about like going to Comic-Con. Now we're gonna go all over the world.
Definitely. And it's exciting because I think you should be very excited to show this movie off because we loved it. And something we love so much about you is just how transparent you are with the filmmaking process especially when it comes to problem solving.
Yeah.
With that said, what was the biggest problem that you had to solve when making Shazam: Fury of the Gods?
It was a few things. I mean, one was just that the size and the scope of it. There's a lot of movie to do in a relatively short time, because it's always like whenever you make a movie, it's like you always aim for more than the box you've been given, because you want to make it as big as possible. But it means that it is a lot of work and like a lot of stressful situations. And on this one, we have such a big cast, which is a lot of problems of just from staging and like blocking shots when you have like 11 characters in a shot or something like that. And in the movie there's a scene when they're all in the house towards the end where they're basically all just lined up in a row because it's just like you just run out of idea, like how do we even shoot this with all these people in this little hallway thing. And so a lot of challenges like that. And yeah, visual effects, figuring out how to shoot things, especially when we have to move fast, because we had this system, this called the N cam, where, when you're on the camera, you have a little monitor where you can actually see like a CG version of the dragon, so you can frame up shots and everything. But we actually only used that for a day and then didn't use it anymore because it sort of slowed us down.
Oh,
Because
wow.
then, you have an animation for the dragon, but then the actor has to sort of adjust their performance to the pre-recorded animation
Right.
of the dragon and stuff. So I was like, I didn't want to do that. Like, we need to move fast. We're just gonna have to sort of shoot it, and the dragon's there, and then they'll have to put it in and go by the actor's performance rather than the other way around.
Right.